There we go.
There it
Okay,
is.
now
Thank
it
you.
is. Good.
Thank
Thank
All
you, Jen.
I'll call the meeting to order. Dr. Hammond, will you please call the roll?
Mark Pellegrino is not present. Wayne Anderson. Robert Hankinson,
Present.
Jennifer Plavin,
Present.
Bob Schwartz,
Present.
Mark Hawk.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
All right, first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the January 17th, 2024 meeting. Motion made by Mr. Hankinson to approve. Second to the motion.
Motion to accept meeting minutes, the last meeting.
Seconded by Mr. Schwartz. Any discussion on the meeting, on the motion? Hearing none, put the matter to vote. Dr. Hammond, will you please call the roll?
Robert Hankinson,
Yes.
Jennifer Plavin,
Yes.
Bob Schwartz,
Yes.
Mark Hawk.
Yes.
It's approved, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Approvals of bills and orders.
Can I share, am I able to share?
You should be able to. Yes.
Okay, yes, I am. Okay. Sure, here we go. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
And I thank Brenda caught one little error on that, so I redid it. So right now we have Colliers at $2,825.14, JWA $950. We do not have any bill from Bacon this month. I was notified. WB Mason for $10,076. School furnishings $4,062.51. Hertz Furniture, the invoice was $689,258 for $7,939.17. The second one from Hertz Furniture, invoice number 687,460 for $11,983.24. The total is $37,836.06.
Is there a motion to
To approve.
So move.
motion made by Mr. Schwartz, seconded by Mrs. Plavin. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, put the matter to vote. Dr. Hammond, please call the roll.
Robert Hankinson,
Yes.
Jennifer Plavin,
Yes.
Bob Schwartz,
Yes.
Mark Hawk.
Yes.
It's approved, Mr. Chairman.
You can put me in as a yes too, Steve.
What?
Hello,
Oh,
Mr. Anderson.
I'm
is here.
sorry, missed you there. Wayne Anderson,
That'd be a yes.
thank you. Okay, it's approved.
All right, how about
Stop
a,
sharing. Hold on, let me stop sharing. Okay, back to you, Mr. Chairman.
how about a report from the OPM?
All right, thanks, Mark. I'm gonna share. So give me a second. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger so people can see it. This again is our budget that we've been following throughout. You can see, everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Yep.
But I'll
can.
scroll down to the bottom. So column A, if you remember, our budget was 82.2, and that's after the MSBA took back their bid savings amount, because as you remember, the bids came in under budget. But of that 82, we have approved for spending 78.2 million, and we have under contract or committed 78.9 million. So we're about $700,000 left of committed items. Of that 78.2 that's been in process or approved, 57.9, so just under $58 million is deemed, or we estimate that that's going to be deemed eligible by the MSBA. There is always a little bit of a lag in the approval process or the audit process with the MSBA, but that's the amount that we're anticipating would be ultimately approved in that audit process, and based on the district's reimbursement rate, we'd have a reimbursement of $46.3 million. So that's about 59%. So the district share, so far on the project is about 41% of the total spent. And I was just looking back to see how that compared. So this is a slide from a presentation to the city council back in 2019. And at that time, we were anticipating the project to be about $83 to $89 million. And that's about where it came in. It came in a little bit lower, and the MSBA took their portion. But the approximate MSBA reimbursement, we were saying at that time was going to be 48 to 52 million, and that the approximate city cost would be 36 to 40 million. So we're under on both ends, but again, we haven't spent everything, the 82 million that we do have as the budget. It's good to see that when we look back that we are tracking basically right where we said we were anticipating and where we thought we would be. We do still have some work to do, but we're tracking on where we thought. And again, the budget was 82, and we've only committed about 79. So there's still funds available to take care of the items that come up or that are deemed appropriate to move forward with. Any questions on where we stand with budget before we go into some changes that we want to present tonight? Before we get into that, though, I will just I'll stop sharing so people can see. But we did meet with the contractor today, and one of the things that's coming up is the break. And so the contractor informed us that they're going to be meeting with the fire department, building officials, coming out, taking a look at some work that we had previously approved, which was modifying some of the doors at the connector corridors. And they'll be looking at that. And there's some commissioning items ongoing. There's also some punch lists and just some issues that Wayne's discovering as we go through. So hopefully the contractor will be able to take care of a number of those during the break. And we'll be meeting next week with the contractor to go over some of the new items that have come up, whether it was just a gap in the coordination of activities, but there are a couple things that we need to probably address going forward. But I'll let Christian pull up what we have for tonight, which is really just a modification to something that was previously approved, but at that time we didn't have hard numbers, and now we have some more concrete numbers to be able to show and maybe make an approval to adjust those numbers that were previously approved.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. So I think, yeah, Dr. Henman sent these out kind of late in the game, and that's because we, again, went over them this morning with Bacon. So apologies for that getting to your inbox later this afternoon. But 2 PCOs, can folks see my screen okay? Great. Yes. So PCO 449 was for drainage at the sea wing canopy. We're tying that drainage into a drain line that's going by, that's coming off of the gutters right there. And so this gets a little bit complicated in that we knew that this one was coming up. And so the committee, when we last met, kind of bunched both of these scopes together. And we said, let's try and do them both for not to exceed of $40,000. Bacon since then has pulled them apart into 2 different PCOs. So that's kind of how I have it written up here. So we were originally targeting the sea wing canopy drainage for being around $25,000. Because of work done by the district and with DPW, a lot of thanks to Wayne, the scope was reduced. So that's come down to $18,868. So that's that individual item. We knew that this one was coming, again, a request from the district to change some of the loose stone near the generator, near the loading dock area, and changing that to concrete, just easier to maintain and use that area. Again, we started off with a not to exceed of $15,000. Since then, Bacon and Wayne have been meeting on site and agreed that it's kind of easier to do that a much larger area near the generator than just a small concrete pad as we were thinking before. So that one has gone up a little bit, but the other one came down a little bit. So anyway, PCO 450 is coming in at 25,839 for a total of 44,707. And I have also made up a draft PCO with that same total for PCO number, or sorry, change order number 36. Any questions on those two?
I don't see any or hear any, so we can take a vote, to approve them.
Dr. Hammond, I don't know if we want to take 2 votes or just vote to approve change order 36 or.
You just need to do change order 36.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Hedkinson,
Second,
Second.
seconded by, I think, Mr. Anderson. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Dr. Hammond, please call the roll.
Wayne Anderson,
yes.
Robert Hankinson,
Yes.
Jennifer Flavin,
Yes.
Bob Schwartz,
Yes,
Mark Hawk.
Yes.
Yes, did I get everybody? It's approved, Mr. Chairman. We'll, you got the change order, we got it to you before the meeting. I'll get the signatures and then we'll distribute that as we normally do.
Thanks, Steve. I think the only other update that I'd add to Tim was we also talked a little bit about meeting with the Conservation Commission and kind of targeting that around mid-March. And Joe from Bacon was talking about when to do the planting down there in that area. And is thinking that, you know, kind of April break, mid-April seems like that might be a good time of the season to do it. So we're slowly ticking off the last remaining items here.
All right. Anything else from the architect, Christian?
That's about it. Thank you.
All right. Any old business? Any new business? Any other business? Any public comment?
Yes. I've been listening to the scanner, not necessarily for what's going on with the school, but I've been hearing a lot of calls up the hill here. One that concerned me a bit was we had a water pipe break.
Yes, that was the cabinet heater in the V-wing main entrance. The coil froze and burst. The positive side of that is it was right by the front door and all the water went outside.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
But I've also been hearing a fair amount of other alarms up there for fire and whatever else, apparently false alarms. Is that like normal for a school getting that many?
we found the source of one is the elevator two-way communication. There's buttons on the second and third floor by the call stations that kids love to push buttons. So they finally figured it out. I think they got 42 calls. Then they were basically ghost calls. Trying to think the other alarms. We've had some miscellaneous smoke detector, end of life, CO detector stuff. So I'm in contact with the fire department, so unfortunately, or fortunately.
So in other words, they're fairly normal things.
Yeah,
And once we get batteries fixed and whatever else, we
Yeah.
shouldn't see quite so many.
yeah, it's slowed way down, but it's recently, the past few weeks, we've had a CO detector end of life, a pre-action system issue, but it's been a lot better. So hopefully it stays quiet.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thank you.
All right, next meeting date is March 20th. There's no need for executive session, so we'll be in line for adjournment if someone wants to make that motion. Motion made by Mr. Plavin, seconded by Mr.
Second.
Anderson. Carries. Thank you. See you on March 20th.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.